Hi everybody, this is Eric with Phone Scoop, and today we're going to take a look at the Amazon Fire Phone. The Fire Phone brings with it some interesting innovations from Amazon, including a dynamic perspective, which we can see a little bit of here, as well as Firefly and several other things. First, let's take a tour of the hardware. Turn off the screen here. We've got a pretty busy front face, a little bit hard to see unless there we go. We've got 4 cameras on the front here, these sensors, which are what the Fire Phone uses to see where your head is, where your face is. We've got a standard user-facing camera here, as well as an earpiece and a button on the bottom. Along the left edge, we have a volume toggle on the top, as well as a dedicated camera button. And these buttons are good. They have a good travel and feedback, and I find them easy to locate. SIM card tray is here, and on the bottom we can see a micro USB port, as well as speakers and microphones. There are no elements along the right side of the phone. And on the back, you can see, of course, Amazon logo, in addition to camera, the flash, and another microphone for recording. And on top, try to get a little closer here, you can see the 3.5mm headset jack, as well as the screen on-off and power button. And we have more, another speaker here, so that when you hold the phone like this, it gives you stereo sound thanks to the 2 speakers. It's a basic look at the hardware. Of course, the most interesting aspect of the Fire Phone is not the hardware, but is instead the software. And we're looking at one of the chief features right here, dynamic perspective. This is just a wallpaper. But you can see as I tilt the phone, it changes the scenery. So I can tilt the phone and you can see some other airplanes over there. Interestingly, the time and date are here. It's 10:04 in the morning on Friday, July 25th. And all the wallpapers contain similar information. So no matter which wallpaper you choose to use, A, it has this dynamic perspective, and B, it'll at least show you the time and date. And you can see I've got some emails up here, so there's a notification there for emails. If you want to go to the main screen, you swipe up. And the home screen is an interesting place. It's the Fire Phone runs Android, but it's a forked version of Android that Amazon calls Fire OS. And it makes use of this carousel idea for the home screen. So forget the idea of the standard Android home screen. This is what you get. So I have 3 unread emails, and I can scroll through them here. And open them up if I want to, and a simple swipe up takes me back to the carousel. I've recently used the browser, and it shows you the 3 websites I've used and searches. Of course, we have access to the Amazon App Store, and the phone comes preloaded with some games, Facebook, USA Today. You know, it shows you a couple of headlines there. Messages, so you can see there's my most recent message. I sent myself a test message. Here's the phone app in the carousel, and you can see the most recent phone call I've made. And there's, Pandora, another game here, Monkey Buddy, which just shows off dynamic perspective, and contacts. If you want to access all the apps, you touch the bar here and pull up. And this shows you everything that's on the phone. Of course, you'll notice plenty of Amazon things. We've got an Amazon store. We've got the Amazon App Store. We've got Amazon's music service, the Kindle books, Kindle newsstand, instant video, audio books. This is Audible. And has its own browser here. It's proprietary to Fire OS, its own maps. And all its own versions of different services like the messaging and email and so on. So that's the basics, but there's an interesting twist to all of this. So the Fire OS makes use of gestures to see additional information. So if I tilt the phone, You can see it's telling me it's 70 degrees today, what the expected highs and lows are. And if I tilt it back, that goes away. If I tilt it again, I get this menu screen, and it'll provides quick access to a lot of the apps that are stored. Now, if you'll notice, it's kind of hard with the lighting. As I tilt it, you can see additional information show up here, here, and here. And that tells me that information comes and goes as you tilt the phone. And it'll show you just other things, details about those specific apps. You can also just swipe to get that same menu screen, although you can see I'm having some difficulty with it. So there's that one screen, and I can get rid of it, or I can do this to get it, and that to get rid of it. One quick way to see some of the settings screens is to bop the phone down like that, and you can see we've got control over the settings, airplane mode, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and of course this is access to Mayday, which is Amazon's helping service. And you just tilt the phone again to get rid of that. So let's go into the music app just as an example. So you can see here is a listing of my albums on Amazon Music. But of course the tilting gesture works here too. So it's recommending these other albums, and I can just get rid of that. If I do it again, I'll see another screen where I can parse between my playlists, artists, albums, songs, genres, and of course access the store. And I can get rid of that quite easily. Swiping up takes you back to the carousel screen. I am going to show you the settings screen because this is interesting. This is the main tool to use for altering all of the functions of the phone. You can get rid of each one expands a little bit, so you can do different tasks. And what I like is that they're spelled out in plain English. So if you tap Wi-Fi networks, it says connect to Wi-Fi, enable airplane mode, pair with Bluetooth. Makes it pretty simple. It basically puts these things together based on actions, which probably makes sense to most people. You can automatically expand each of those and see how they all the options available. You can see quite a number of settings here. It takes a little bit of time to dive in and figure out what they all do, but again, as I said, since the directions are all laid out in fairly plain English, and it makes it easy to use. Swiping up again takes you back and back and back. And of course, you can just press the button down here to get to the main home screen. Now, this button's a little weird. On this screen, when you're on the carousel, the button opens the app drawer, and if you press it again, it closes the app drawer. But if you're anywhere else, it takes you to the carousel. And of course, items can be removed and added to the carousel at will. If I hold this down, you can see it says pin to front or remove from carousel. And similarly, if you go into all these apps, you can choose one of these and pin it to the carousel just as easily. So that's how dynamic perspective works in the basic user interface of the Fire phone. As you can see, it's a unique and interesting take on how to interact with your device. The one other feature I want to show you is Firefly. So a long press of the camera button will launch Firefly. You can see all these little fireflies buzzing around the screen. And what Firefly is supposed to do is to recognize things. So I'll toss in some guitar strings, and in fact it told me D'Addario strings, and if I push on that, guess what? It takes me to Amazon. I can buy them. Wow, it's charging quite a lot for strings, even for a set of 5. That is a pretty hefty price tag. But of course, I can do other actions. I can share it. I can look at the original picture it just took. I can tell Firefly that it got this completely wrong, and I can delete it from the history. So we'll go back, try to recognize something. So here's Firefly. We'll try to give it something else. So let's see, Rose Art crayons, and yep, that's what they are. So again, I can buy them from Amazon, 45 cents. That seems pretty reasonable to me. We'll go back and we'll try one more time. So that's a koozie, and it's didn't get that right at all. That's a koozie for cans, and it thought I was looking at greeting cards. But hey, if you want to buy greeting cards for 12 bucks, we can go right ahead and do that. Basically, the idea is to make it as easy as possible to find and buy things. This works, you know, when you're out and about shopping. Say you see something at the department store and you want to buy it, you can scan it and see if Amazon is selling it for less. And of course, you could buy it right from your phone instead of from where you are. So in my tests, I found Firefly to be accurate maybe 2/3 of the time, especially if you have something easy like the crayons or the guitar strings. It was pretty straightforward to identify those. So that's Firefly in action, and a quick look at the Amazon Fire Phone, which is being sold by AT&T.